what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the third part of this three-part walkthrough as a bit of an example to show you how I finalize the video editing and how I export it so it can be uploaded to YouTube or wherever you want it. So as you can see on the screen, we're on part 3 of the Guitar Jam walkthrough. The walkthrough is actually this 3-part video that I made. I've already deleted the videos from part 1 and part 2, so this is just part 3, and this is where we talk about opening DaVinci, working in DaVinci, and exporting the files. So we've already seen how we've dragged all the clips that we've recorded onto the timeline in the edit part of DaVinci. I am now going to finalize this video, put a start and an end to it, add a few faders left and right, and add some music at the beginning. So here we go. So these are all the clips that we've recorded earlier, the videos from the guitar recording, the outside filming, I mean the whole thing. So for this third part, and I've done this for part 1 and 2 as well, in the beginning I want some text explaining actually what we are going to do in this video. So in order to do that, I've created a new video track. I'm not gonna drag a video clip onto that track. I'm gonna go to my effects library, go to titles, and add a text bit on that track. So if you drag the word text down to your timeline on the new track, it appears as a little brown square, and if you double click on it, you get a window that will show you the text that you will have to put on that screen. Now, since I want it to be exactly the same as on, or similar as on part 1 and part 2, I've taken a screenshot of what I want there, so I can just copy that, and the 3 videos then will look more or less the same from the beginning and the end. So it's online Guitar Jam walk through part 3 of 3, and we will cover in this bit video editing in DaVinci Resolve, and then exporting the video for YouTube, etc. So that's the text. Here you can choose your, just gonna make the screen bigger. You can choose your font. I'm using Tahoma, I think. Yeah, I think that's what it is. As you can see, the text is slightly too big for the screen. So, a bit like that. So I'm opening DaVinci. So, okay, that works. And then you can see on that square box, on the top left and on the top right corner, there's a little white marker. See, if you click on that marker and you drag it to the inside of the box, it creates fades. So if you go to the beginning, you will see it fades from black and it fades back to black. So I'm opening DaVinci. Now on this bit I want a bit of music because it's a bit empty like this. So in my media pool I will import media, and I've already put an MP3 on the desktop, which is a recording of something I did many years ago. So it's copyright free, and I will put that on the, and this is always a bit fiddly, on this audio track 2. There's nothing on there, so I just created that track for this background music. So it's an empty track for the moment. So the song is called Sail On, Same principle applies as with the videos. If you double click on it, it appears in your sort of preview window. So now I've selected the part from there to there. I click on the thing, drag it down there, and it will use just that bit. So I zoom out a bit, you can see it's longer than it needs to be because it only needs to be at the beginning, but I might just leave it running for the first bit of the movie at the lower volume. So this is what you get. I will slice it so opening at the point where the real video begins. And with this, and this is something you have to know, see if you sort of hover above the track, at one point there's a little arrow pointing up and another one pointing down. That's where you can grab the volume fader and you can change the volume of the track. So after the slice point, so I'm opening DaVinci Resolve, so I will start a new program. You can't do it while it's playing, you have to stop the software. Guitar, still a bit loud. Retweet. So I'm opening DaVinci Resolve, so I will start a new project and this one. There you go, so now we've created an intro slide with some text explaining what's happening. We've created a bit of background music. So and once the video starts, the music goes away. A new project and this one outro. Right, so this is where it gets weird. I am now worried about the ending of the video, but I still have to add this bit to that video, so the ending here is not the real ending. It's a brain twister. So in the end I will add another bit of text. So again we're going to that channel, that track which was called video 4, I think, yes. I just copied that one from the beginning, so standard copy, paste procedure, applies, go to the end. There you go, I'm on that track, video track, paste it there. Change the words, of course, because we are now at the end of the video and I've already decided on what I want there. So now we got this. Thanks for watching and I will see you next time. Bye bye. Perfect, alright, and I want the same music to end the video with as I used at the start, so that it's that. Copy, go back to the end. I could just paste it and would do that. Right, okay. Now I'm going to turn the little magnet off so I can move this more freely. Thanks for watching and I will see you next time. Bye bye. Great, that would be the video done once I've inserted this bit, but let's just assume it's there, otherwise I'm gonna go crazy. So this is the video. This is part 3, but same process applies to every video, of course. So we've skipped section 1. You see at the bottom there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sections in the software. I don't use section 1, I go straight to step 3. You usually work from left to right. So media, which is your media pool, of course. Cut is where you do the cutting, but I do the cutting actually in the edit window. Fusion is where you can do further editing and 3D effects, and that's text and stuff. This is your color grading page, which we won't be looking at. I mean, there's a lot of YouTube tutorials telling you how to color grade your videos, which can get quite complicated because you have to add nodes, sort of layers on top of your video if you want to do some in-depth work, but it also means that it puts amounts of stress on your CPU and your system. I mean, there are a few things that I sometimes do when the video is shorter. In the sound bit, which is something I do, you can add a bit of compression on your tracks. So I do it on the mains out. and I will copy a setting that I used on the previous file so that they sound a bit similar. Total video of all the guitar plays. Well, that was it. This was a long one, and I hope there is something useful for you in there. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye. So it can import a bit more compression. The file that I've exported with Studio One. So I'll do another import media file. Try to find Studio One. DaVinci will tell you when the audio is clipping once you export the file. So how to export a file, you click on Deliver. And then on the left, you can choose a few options. You see render settings. You can have a render setting for YouTube straight away, Vimeo. I mean, a couple of options. This is the Guitar Jam walkthrough part 3. There you go, location. I kept them all together. So DaVinci files, you can see part 1, part 2, the full video. This is part 3. I'm going to see if the name is exactly as before. Part 3 more. Yep. Save it there. And then you have to add it to the render queue. And I have to go to the other side of the screen. This is where your render queue is. So you can make a couple of renders and put them in the queue. I just do them one by one. So now it has put this video in the queue. And I will just click on Start Render. And then it will render. And then you got an MOV file ready that you can use for YouTube or whatever. Quite simple, straightforward, and I just use what I need, nothing more than that. There are a few things you can do wrong, and you can make your life really horribly miserable if you do it wrong. Because I use the audio from the camera to match it with the audio of the Studio One file. So I need something on the video, sound-wise, to line it up with the audio that comes out of the DAW. I mean, I've done it without sound in the beginning when I was learning, and it takes so much time to get it right. Whereas if you have like the reference of the WAV file indicating like where the beats, and you can line it up, I mean, absolutely spot on. It makes your life so much easier. So when you do these kind of things, you have to, in the process, continuously think about what can go wrong and try to avoid that. The battery is dying. I've talked about the cards going funny on me. I've talked about when you transfer stuff from your card to the computer and for one reason or another, it doesn't transfer the whole file. All these things give you so much extra work, it drives you nuts. So when you do these videos and you do play guitar or any other instrument, 90% of your energy does not go to the playing. The musical aspect is detail. Most of your time goes into making sure that you got everything and that you can create the result that you want. You're not thinking about musical ideas or being a great or a decent guitar player or musician. You're focused on actually the technical aspect of the whole thing, the technical side, which is a bit frustrating, and I'm constantly looking at my workflow, trying to get it smooth so I don't have to think about all these things. The more you can make your workflow straightforward and bulletproof, the more time, the more focus, the more energy you can devote to your musical job when you're doing this. Even on this track, the solo I played I was happy because I got something and it was fast and it was straightforward and I could go on with the rest of the thing. But actually, when it's done and when somebody watches the video, they're gonna look at the musical ideas, they're gonna look at the guitar playing, and they're not gonna appreciate the fact that you spend hours and hours and hours compiling the video or getting your head around all the technical stuff in order to make it happen. So yeah, this is also something that I wanted to show you in this video, that there is a lot of work behind the scenes, as always. Yeah, it's just like with recording an album. Sometimes you have no idea how much time and effort goes into the production of the thing. You just listen to the music, and that's why sometimes these jobs are separated. Well, usually they are separated, and in the old days, a musician didn't have to worry about studio engineering and recording. I mean, even we with our bands, like 15 years ago and before that, we didn't know anything about studio. We just went in the studio, and there was an engineer, sometimes two, and there was a producer, and these guys were doing the work, and we would just play the music. These days are over. Now you have to do everything yourself. Get your hands dirty and make all the mistakes that everybody has done. I would invest first in gear that makes your life easier and makes the workflow smoother, and then into the quality gear. I'm not too worried about buying the next expensive lens or the next expensive camera or whatever. I'm looking at solutions to get it done quickly and not think about stuff. Of course, I will compile the video for the collaborate guitar track separately, because you don't need all the rest of that. You just cut out that guitar playing bit and then incorporate that in the total video of all the guitar plays. Well, that was it. This was a long one, and I hope there is something useful for you in there. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.